Hello, church. So it is Saturday, May 10th. I have this odd thing that happens in my head because it only shows a portion of the title, and it's so it'll give the day and then basically the first letter of the month. And I always want to say it's March rather than May. There is a part of me that wishes it was still March, but yeah, we'll go with what we got. So today we are finishing up Psalm 66. We talked about it being divided into two parts, and so we're stepping into the next section, which is a song of thanksgiving. Mays talked about the combination of those two pieces and its importance and what he frames, he calls the post-exilic community. So after the return of Israel to the Holy Land, being able to celebrate that once again. And I note that because he'll pick that back up in his conclusion for the commentary. But we begin with the New Revised Standard Version. I will come into your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows, those that my lips uttered and my mouth promised when I was in trouble. I will offer to you burnt offerings of fatlings with the smoke of the sacrifice of rams. I will make an offering of bulls and goats. Selah. Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for me. I cried aloud to him, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But truly God has listened. He has given heed to the words of my prayer. Blessed be God, because he has not rejected my prayer or removed his steadfast love from me. Little side note. So my grandfather once asked his pastor, so why do we no longer do animal sacrifice? Like chicken barbecues. And the pastor responded well to the question. He talked about Jesus as the ultimate sacrifice and not needing to do that. But we also hear kind of a tension within the Old Testament because they do absolutely still talk about the offerings that are being made. But we also are hearing prophets calling people to offer contrite hearts, to God, and a shift in our behavior and perspective as what we are offering. So little neat kind of transition, but we still uplift it. The other piece that I should mention from Mays yesterday too was the use of this psalm as an opportunity as a psalm of praise of God right before making their offering, which is why it really connects with that part today. So here's May's conclusion. Nope, need to turn back one. When the church uses this psalm, it recognizes its continuity with the community of those whose story is made up of exodus and return, and confesses that it is a shoot grafted into the olive tree of Israel. And it has a new witness to God's awesome deeds of salvation to add to the old, a story of death and resurrection that is the gospel of the kingdom of God to the nations, an answer to the cry for life that lies in the heart of everyone. Very poetic. I would probably read that again, but let me do a little explanation. So we have a very natural connection with that theme of Exodus within the Schwenkfelder tradition because of the persecution and migration coming into the New World. A lot of us have that as a part of our ancestral connection, but it also uplifts that journey away from God and back to God, that return home. Same thing we hit with prodigal son in the New Testament, and that's a parable of Jesus, also known as the lost son, and just good stuff. So here's our Peterson for the conclusion of Psalm 66. I'm bringing my prizes and presents to your house. I'm doing what I said I do, what I solemnly swore I do that day when I was in so much trouble. The choicest cuts of meat for the sacrificial meal, even the fragrance of roasted lamb is like a meal. Or make it an ox garnished with goat meat. All believers, come here and listen. Let me tell you what God did for me. I called out to him with my mouth. My tongue shaped the sounds of music. If I had been cozy with evil, the Lord would never have listened. But he most surely did listen. He came on the double when he heard my prayer. Blessed be God. He didn't turn a deaf ear. He stayed with me, loyal in his love. Resting in the loyal and steadfast love of God, I wish you a very blessed day. We have a wedding this weekend, and congratulations in advance to Alexis Wright and Jeremy Augustine. And we'll look forward to hosting them here and for rehearsal and then for the wedding on Saturday. Have a great one. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.